business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the pod.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am fired up to have you join us today because my guest today is going to motivate you, inspire you, educate you with your heart. When's the last time you thought from your heart, pulled from that soul in your business, not just your personal life? We're going to talk a lot about that. Audience, you have homework today, and your homework is taken from your heart, how you're going to serve yourself and serve others today, and what impact you're going to create today. My guest does it every day like I do. It's the most wonderful feeling in the world when you can impact people with just a word, a thought, a tip, resource, an introduction. Doesn't take much, but make that impact. And I want to thank my incredible sponsor, Pantheon. Join a community of thought leaders who want to change and impact the world with each other with the ability to just grow and make that change. There'll be a link in the show notes, or you can reach out to me with any questions. Well, my guest today talks about the heart, and I've mentioned a lot about empathy in business is missing, especially after COVID. Everybody's trying to, I don't want to go out of business. I don't go bankrupt. I got bills to pay. And we all have that. But let's bring the heart into this. Let's bring some love into this. So let's welcome our incredible guest, Staci. Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to unpack this with you. This is something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that the world needs. It's no longer a luxury to bring your heart to business. It is now a necessity with the society that we live in today.
Love it. And your company name, Heart Profit. Two words you never see together until you came along.
Yeah.
Talk to us about it.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. I've had 6 businesses over the last 20 years. I'm a big problem solver. And I started recognizing, well, I'll tell you briefly, 15 years ago, had a $5 million business doing amazing things, having a great life, had reached the pinnacle of success. Then we got hit with a lawsuit. Over the next 10 years, ended up losing everything. So during that process of grief, right, the grief of losing everything, I recognized early on that I couldn't drink a bottle of wine every night. That was not going to be good for my health, nor for my children. And so I learned that one day somebody invited me to be of service, and I just said yes, and I showed up and I served some people, and I went home feeling so much better. And I thought, that's what I can do. I'm just going to throw myself into service because that makes my heart feel better. That eases the pain that I'm going through. And so I literally threw myself into service, and I started volunteering at numerous charities throughout my community. And after a couple years of doing this, I noticed some alarming things, 2 very alarming things. One is that the mental health crisis was growing. People were needing services more and more and more. I was on the board of one organization that does therapy for children who have been in trauma. And we had a waiting list so long, we couldn't even get to them. We finally had to cut off the waiting list. Now, this is children have gone through trauma that need therapy, which means if they don't get therapy now, they're going to become adults who are destructive, who aren't able to thrive. So this whole next generation, right, is coming up, and we don't have enough mental health professionals to handle the load. And as I was seeing this, I thought, wow, this is not good. And as I'm volunteering, my volunteer work, we didn't have the sustainability to really solve problems. We were more putting Band-Aids on things and getting people what they needed today. So we could feed somebody. We could give them a place to stay. We could possibly try to get them into mental health services, but we were struggling with that as well. So those 2 things, the trajectory of the mental health crisis and our inability to solve the problem, got me to thinking. And as an entrepreneur, I like to solve problems. And business, we solve a lot of problems with business. So why can't we bring that powerful problem-solving mechanism, that is business, to our social issues and start solving this mental health crisis, or at least stave it off? And so that's what I started pondering, and I started thinking about how can we bring business and problem solving to our social problems. Started a business that was a manufacturing company. We have a patented product, manufacturing, hired single moms. That was the whole business model, was to hire single moms, and we could have daycare on site and then have our managers be mental health coaches. So people that cared about helping others. There's a lot of us out there that like helping other people. We hire them as managers, teach them the business. The business part is easy, but help these moms of our precious children have a better trajectory. So it was a dual generational approach to solve the mental health crisis. We give jobs to the single moms. We get to the kids and the moms, change the trajectory and stave off the mental health crisis. So that was my idea, is that we would do this and we would start up these manufacturing plants all across the United States, and it would be amazing. Well, I got into it and I, raised the money, got started, got everything going, and I found myself in over my head because I had brought so much compassion to my old style of leadership, which was command and control, and it just didn't work. The performance was not there. I was doing therapy 2 hours a day in my office, and I'm not a therapist. I have no idea what I'm doing in that realm. I'm just trying to be compassionate. And so I recognize there's something more. We need more than just compassion in the workplace. We need a whole foundation of how do we bring compassion to the workplace and still have performance and still have a sustainable business. And so that's what I went out to find. And that's where Heart Profit came from. Because as I was going down this path, I was recognizing, talking to some of my friends who are also business owners, they were having some of the same struggles. They were saying, Staci, we want to have compassion in our business too. And we help our employees. And the next thing we know, they're taking advantage of us and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we're struggling, but we really want this. And so that's where I was like, okay, we need more information as business leaders, as business people. How do we bring our heart to the workplace to heal these problems, but also keep a sustainable business? And that's where Heart Profit was born.
Love the fact, which any business can do, a manager becomes a mental health expert, or
Coach.
that's their mindset coach. Yeah, a
Yeah.
better word, because that's what they're doing anyways. If I have a managing a sales team, mindset's a big part of that, especially sales, but
Yeah.
HR, admin team across the board. Talk about, because you've had 6 startups, amazing. You're only 25 years old. She started very young. So, um, but I know entrepreneurs are listening to this going, I love this heart thing. It sounds really cool. How do I get started with that in my business?
Mhm. Yes, that's a great, I love that. And I love that we're talking to entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs are the way makers of the future. We are building a new way of doing business in the future. So the first thing I would say is grow your self-awareness and recognize, heal your own. If you have your own trauma or whatever you have going on in your life, heal that. And then the next thing is connect with your people. We have been taught, keep your people at a distance. Don't get too close to them. Leave emotions at the door. Leave the personal life at the door. But that means you're getting one fragment of a human in your business. And if you just fragment off that one section, that one splice of a human, you're missing a whole lot of other potential that lives there. But also, that's where the heart does, the heart is not in that piece. So it's a matter of connecting with your people, having like knowing them, understanding them, what makes them tick. You talk about being a coach, like a mental health coach. If you're managing people, if you want performance, if you want high performing teams, that is the mindset that you want to have as a business owner. And so you can start that as an entrepreneur. It's just like I'm going to bring my heart to business. I'm going to intentionally wake up in the morning, connect with my heart, and then say, how can I lead my business today in a way that is heart-based, that is compassionate, that is impacting the world? So I don't know if I answered the question or not. I think I kind of went on a
No,
tangent.
you did very well, and that leads to. Can you tell us a real time story of somebody that did this and what the ROI? Unfortunately, that's business. What's a return on investment? What's my return on being heart centered in my business? I could tell you mine, but I want to hear your stories.
Oh goodness. Well, one of my mentors in this whole process is she says, do you want to get compliance from your people or do you want to get commitment?
Hmm.
And I thought about that and the difference between compliance and commitment. Compliance is good. That's what we've all gone for, right? We have the job descriptions, the minimum, this is what you have to do every day.
Yeah.
This is the minimum requirement, and that's kind of how we set everything up. And that breeds compliance, which, okay, you can have compliance, but what if you had commitment? Commitment's like a whole nother realm, a whole nother way of being. And I can tell you that for me, you know, moving away from the command and control style leadership into the heart-based leadership, it's a big transformation. It's a big transition and there's a lot to learn. So for me, learning that allowed me to now build a team of people that are committed to the cause, committed to the vision, committed to the goal. And with that, my job is so much easier. There's less on me. There's My people take responsibility. They take ownership. They take leadership. They're leaders in their own right, doing their part of the bigger picture. So it's allowed me to step back and live in my visionary role as opposed to into the doer and the manager and the making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing role. So it's allowed me a lot more peace and ease in the process of building something brand new, which is very stressful. You've got a group of entrepreneurs here, they know it's very stressful to start something new, to blaze a new trail. But when you do it with heart, the the commitment that you get from people propels you into realms that you didn't even know were possible.
And commitment is such a powerful word, audience, because right away I think of they stay longer, less turnover. You can focus on the business, not in the business. I hear that phrase all the time. I read twice this week. Focus on your business, not in your business. Let those people do sales, do HR, do that. And the leadership of culture. Talk about the change in culture, because that's helping the employee and the CEO or founder, or whoever that title is. Talk about the culture when it's all brought together.
The culture, oh, I do have a story that I'll tell you, but one of the core component foundational pieces is trust and transparency. And so when you're leading with trust and transparency, um, you're communicating with your people, you're telling them the vision, you're bringing them along, and you're saying, "Hey, look, I don't have all the answers. We're figuring this out together. Here's the goal, here's my vision, here's what I think it could look like. Give me your feedback." So there's a lot of collaboration in that. But when you establish the foundation of trust, transparency, and collaboration, then everything changes. And I'll tell you the story that I remember, it's so vivid in my mind, is I had a friend who worked for a large corporation. It was owned by private equity. The shareholders were looking at that bottom line. It was a large corporation, and she was the shipping manager. So you'd think typically in that role, the shipping manager wouldn't be super passionate about her job or super excited about her job, but she was freaking loved her job and loved being a shipping supervisor and just loved every bit of it. And I could see so much commitment from her. And I started asking her questions. I'm like, why? Like, tell me about your boss. Like, who's the leader for you? And what does that look like? What does your boss do with you? Because I was very curious how to breed. This was like 5 years ago, when I was still in command and control and trying to breed that kind of commitment with my people and not having success. And she said, "You know what? The biggest thing is for me is that he sat me down and he taught me how to read financials. And then he showed me the financials of the company. And he gave me that what that told me is that he trusts me and he values my perspective and he values my input. And so that trust in me made me feel ownership, made me feel like I was a part of this, and it was important the way I did my job because it impacted the bottom line, which, and that mentorship that she got and that coaching that she got from her boss made her want him to succeed, right? So then he's got higher ups telling him, you have to hit these metrics. She's like, how can I help you hit your metrics? Because he's like, how can I help you succeed in your business? And it's just like you talk about, Steve, with the servant's heart. When you do business with a servant's heart, your job as a leader is to serve your people and make sure that they have what they need to be successful. And in return, they do the same for you.
And audience, this is why Staci's unbelievably awesome. She's a rock star. What she just told that story is people want to be seen. I don't care how successful or how poor or in between. We're human. We want to be seen. And that's all she wanted to do is be seen. And he's like, here you go.
Yes.
My boss sees me. Just do that. Now, On the flip side, here's what I get all the time. I'd love to get your answer. That person that doesn't, you come in and you serve them and they just don't do the job.
Mhm.
They're not showing, they're just a negative aspect to the company.
Yeah.
How do we handle that from the heart?
I'm so glad you brought that up because that is such a huge piece of the problem. And so we call them 5%ers, that there's 5% of the population that will never rise to your coaching no matter what you do. And the if you want to have a compassionate based business that works, that has high performance, you got to identify those 5% and get rid of them. Like they're it's not, you can't fix them. You can't fix people. So you want to make sure that you're hiring good people, you're hiring trustworthy people, and you're dealing. Now the 5%ers aren't people who have maybe a performance gap. That doesn't mean they're a 5%er. The 5%er are the people that only care about themselves. They're gonna do the bare minimum always. No matter what kind of relationship and connection you have with them, they're not going to rise and above and beyond. They're toxic. They want to talk bad about people. They just want to spread rumors. Like those are the people you just want to get rid of. Now, people that have a performance gap that aren't meeting a threshold of what you need them to meet, those are the ones you coach. That's not a 5%er. So the 5%er strictly is mostly attitude and what their core values are.
Yeah, affecting your culture. That's how you look at
Yes.
it. Is Steve Ramona affecting our culture, what he's doing? Oh, he's not
Yes.
hitting his quota, but people love him. You go to the ends of the earth to help that person. Well, I love what you just said because people think, and I used to do that. I used to just help people, and for
Yeah.
months I'd help them with their podcast. They never launch it. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I don't have time. I'd love to help everybody, but it's got to be a give and take. But I love what you just said.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end here, but what does the future of Heart Profit look like to you in the next 2 to 3 years?
Heart Profit is actually a global movement. We are looking to transform every workplace on the globe into a heart-based environment where people and profit thrive. So 3 to 5 years from now, I do see we're building a directory of companies that are Heart Profit certified. And so the next generation that are coming up into the workplace, they're going to be looking at Heart Profit directory to find a job. They're going to be looking at who is a Heart Profit company because that's who I want to work for. We are going to be the name, the leader in heart-based business, and we're going to be able to direct people to that. So yeah, that's the vision.
I'm really speechless. That is so powerful, audience. It's when she hits it, because she will be part of it. Get on that train. Don't jump off that train. Another question that came to me. I love companies that volunteer. Meaning, okay, sales team, once a month we're going to go to a soup kitchen and feed the homeless or give away. I just, it's not about me, but it was such an incredible feeling when last month, me and my wife and my best friend gave out groceries to the poor. The experiences. Talk about that because I know you've talked about with me volunteering a lot.
Well, volunteerism saved me during a very dark time in my life. If I hadn't had my volunteerism, I don't know that I would have survived what I went through. Um, so having that, there's such a positive impact energetically, emotionally, spiritually on an individual when they are serving. Then when you take it to the level that you have with your team and you go out and do it together, you talk about team building. Let's talk about team building because we think, oh, let's go to the spa for the day if you have a bunch of female employees, or let's go out golfing, let's go have a golf tournament. And that's bonding. And yes, it is bonding. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you take a team of people and you're serving others, there's a whole different feeling that comes along with that. There's a whole different camaraderie that comes along with that. Some of the friends some of my best friends came from that time of volunteering and doing some hard stuff like rolling up our sleeves and getting dirty together. The bond we have and the respect that we have for each other is enormous. So I think that's just an incredible, it's like team building on steroids when you're doing something that you're making an impact in the world in your community. It just takes it to the next level.
You're changing the world. And thank you for bringing on the bonding act, going to a movie, golf. Because what I see, and I've talked to some companies that do that, it's really cool because they'll go volunteer, say they serve soup kitchen, and then the next 2 weeks they do the movie night. But everybody after the movie at dinner are going, hey, remember we met that lady that we food? She telling us that story. So that volunteerism carries through the culture with the bonding. And I agree with you. The golf tournaments, that's just as important. But you throw the fire, fuel in the fire with the volunteerism. You're brilliant. Audience, I know I could have blow up my guest, but she's absolutely brilliant. Think about that with your business. And as an entrepreneur, go volunteer with other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And you bond together. Like you said, your best friends are found. Oh my gosh. What a great show. Let's end with a fun question. I want to learn a little bit more. I know pretty much about you, but let's learn a deep personal. So I've got a reservation at a restaurant for you. Table of 4. You're going to sit in one of the chairs. So in the 3 empty chairs, who would you invite, whether dead or alive, and what food would you order for the table?
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so I gotta think about this. I would say probably I'm a big philosophy person, so I would say I would want Jesus at the table. I would want Buddha at the table, and goodness, you know who else I'd like to have at the table? Brene Brown. She's a recent thought leader. So I think those three we would have an amazing conversation together. As far as food, I have no I don't even think it would be about the food.
What's your favorite food? What would, if you had that last meal, what would you order?
Oh, it would be salmon with a cream sauce on it, the crawfish cream sauce that they have at Papados, like a Louisiana style.
Look at you. And by the way, Jesus and Buddha would love that, especially Jesus, because he brought
Yeah,
up the fishes,
he
brought up
likes
the
the
bread.
fish.
Your
That's
bread.
right.
So good call on that. Staci, I'm so blessed to have you as a guest. Thank you for coming on, spending time with me and the audience. And I support you 1,000,000%. How can people support you, find you, contact you?
Yes, they can actually find us on heartprofit.org. There's all of our information there. We have spaces for people, business owners that want to become Heart Profit certified, that want to go through our certification process. That's available there. We also have spaces for community members that just say, I love this movement. I want to be a part of this. You can join for as little as $5 a month. Then there's also volunteerism. So if you want to be a part of a grassroots change in the world, and this resonates with you, especially for the entrepreneurs out there, we have leadership positions available for the board. Speaking of volunteering and serving, that's another way that people can get involved with us. But if you go to heartprofit.org, you can do a contact us form and let us know where you're interested, and I'll direct you in the correct places.
You make love so simple because it can be complex, as we all know. This big
Yes.
thing in our head can make it love. Thank you again. I'm just blessed. And audience, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But this is a perfect show why to subscribe. By the way, Staci's got a podcast. What's the name of your podcast?
Unbossed.
Unbossed. And I was blessed to be a guest. And
Yes.
man, it was a great podcast. Her and her partner. What's your partner's name?
Gloria.
Gloria. I knew I was going to say it, but I wasn't sure. So yeah. Gloria, take our podcast and subscribe to them. And not for the viewers. And I mean, I got thousands and I love them all. Mm-hmm. But here's the power of podcast. It's actual heart gift. You're listening to this and going, my friend needs this, needs heart in his business. And you share it with him. And he listens and he reaches out to Staci, or just take some of this tidbit about 5%ers, and you make an impact. That's a gift.
Yeah.
So use these podcasts as gifts, not just, I just listened to Lewis Howard. And it could be mine, could be Staci's, could be whoever. But when you resonate with a podcast, I do this all the time. My guests, when somebody I see connect, and there's a couple I'm going to connect with Staci, I just send them the podcast. See, spend 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes while you're working and listen. So we'll leave with that. Staci and I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all on the next episode of Doing Business with the Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.